welcome everybody to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
Damon Armstrong.
Baudelaire.
Baudelaire. Welcome to the show, man. Baudelaire is
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
look. I have the privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to be on with three talents. See, usually on podcasts, it's maybe one or two talent. You know what I mean, to bring color to the episode. You feel what I'm saying? But now I got three. Especially when they're in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm throwing all kinds of pressure on him, bro. Y'all better do what y'all got to do.
Hey, I heard that caveat, bro.
But for real, man.
Introduction.
Welcome. It's good to see you guys. Before we go ahead, no, I'll tell you what. I'll do it afterwards. Jaquari, how was your day today, brother?
Man.
My day was excellent, man. It was short the way I like my Fridays. Plus, you know what, man? I was blessed to have a conversation with a person who's become a recent. I don't know if they're following that, but they caught a couple of episodes or whatever, and one in particular they talked about is I think on the intro, we talked about how. Like the theme of the show, how we were raised in the same house, and by the same people, but we have different perspectives and everything. And she had a comment. She talked about how it was virtually impossible for us to be raised by the same parents, even though they were the same people, because considering the age gap between all of us. I didn't get the same parents that you guys had.
Did you agree or disagree with that?
I let her talk. I let her finish.
Okay.
And I really didn't. I didn't agree or disagree.
Okay.
Because that's just my approach to critique and criticism.
No doubt.
Because for me to meet her comments with negativity, I mean that's I'm stepping on so many proverbial toes, man. Mm-hmm. So I let her finish, and she gave me some input, and some of it was rational, but I needed the one thing I needed to emphasize to her was you made a valid point, very valid point, but that's probably not going to change what we do.
I get it.
But
it's a conversational show first and foremost. So,
her perspective was refreshing, and I told her
that. And she might have got it from one of our recent episodes because I said that my youngest son got a different version of me than my oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because my oldest son, just like our father, had me and Damon at the same time. 8 years later, you came along. You see what I'm saying? So he was a different person.
which is the very reason I remember that segment. It was the very reason why I wanted to tell you guys about that conversation.
Yeah. Damon, how was your day today, brother?
My day was good, man. I was nursing my grandbaby. She got the sniffles, man, and boy, it was hard to get her to use some Kleenex, man. She was using a sleeve.
What she need Kleenex for when she got your shirts and shit?
Man, bro. She said, Granddaddy, I need a hug. She said, Granddaddy, I need a hug. And her sleeve brushed up against the corner of my mouth and my cheek. I could, you know what, bro? I was so appalled, man, but I recognized the fact that it was my grandbaby. But I was like, oh my God, man. So I probably wake up tomorrow with my eyes matted shut and throat sore and coughing. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? That's my grandbaby. I don't even care, man.
There it is.
But, other than that, man, you know what, bro? I'm blessed over here, man. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my youngest daughter. She was like, "Dad, you praise every good day you have, man. It's for a
Real.
reason." So
Real.
Hmm.
Corey, how was your day today, brother?
Uh, full.
Okay.
Full.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Short and sweet, I see. I'm,
yeah,
I'm
food,
And I
food is good.
mean,
Hey,
it's
Keith.
always has to be that. Like, you know what I mean? When we put too much on it, then the shit becomes too much.
yeah.
Hey, Keith. Corey was like, my day was full, nigga. Why? Why?
Why
Why?
you
Hey,
asking me?
That
Why look,
bother
look,
that bother you?
hey,
why are you asking me on a podcast?
hey, Corey.
Motherfucker?
I don't know if you got that from anybody, but you ought to coin that phrase.
Yeah.
You ought to coin
Nah,
that
it's
phrase,
big
bro.
dog. So I know when he say why, it's a real feeling behind it. So, but full, yeah, definitely. And
Okay.
it's because of you too, Dane. One of the things, the last show I think it was, I think you were talking about your grandbaby and what you learned from her. And I always thought that was the most important thing to parenting is being able to learn from your children, like being able to listen to them even in their adolescent
Yeah.
place.
Because it
So,
did. Go ahead. I didn't
now,
mean to
like
cut
so,
you off.
Jaquari having that lady had the question, and then seeing the show from last week, I was like, this is the strong perspective, changing views. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I said full.
Hey, look, my day was full. I'm stealing from everybody. It was full, it was loving, and it was eventful and short.
Mm.
In other words, the process, all that, it was fair to middling.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm grateful, man.
yeah.
Look, it is when we get older, that word really truly takes on an intense meaning. Gratitude, gratefulness, understanding. You know what I mean? Because being grateful, it gets more intense the older you get because you pour more into what you're being grateful for. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It is what it is. And I'm not getting too deep, but oh,
That
I
ain't deep. Yeah.
No, it's it's simplistic as you make it
yeah,
sound or whatever. I mean,
yeah.
grateful is a thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think it's an act. It's a thing. It's it's a seed that's planted, man, and your gratitude waters that seed, and it grows into abundance for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Okay, we being profound today, huh? Let me think of something then, right
I
quick.
Man,
can't help it. I can't help it. It just falls off me. It just falls off me, man. I can't help
listen. It's
It's the
tenderism.
tenderism.
It's tenderism. You know what I'm
it.
saying?
Oh man, I'm so torn about that situation, bro.
Listen.
I'm so torn about it. I don't know. I
I,
don't know.
Corey, we're going to get to you because really and truly, the first episode you were on, you went into your artistic skill, your
Right.
what you are as a human being, and all these things, right?
Mm.
But since tenderism was brought up, any thoughts on what's going on with my man? Because artists, folks are just to set the background is the man who, I guess, the fall off the bone and the brisket and all that, and
Right.
um, I just enjoyed because I thought it was funny and the way that he advertised. I didn't look at it as an advertiser. I just thought, look, he was proud of what he did, right?
Yeah.
But social media wanted to blow it up, wanted to become this thing. You know what I'm saying? And then Keith Lee, Keith Lee wanted to show the man love, just to give a little background. So he flew, him and his family flew to California to go to the man's restaurant, right?
Mm.
And he was not able, after it was done, and Keith Lee did his review, he wanted to bless the man with $4,000 and then $1,000 for meals for people to come through, right?
Right.
He wasn't able to get to the man because an overzealous security guard who didn't know Keith Lee saying he was busy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
My thing is this. People got upset because they felt like Keith Lee got snubbed, right? And Keith Lee low-key was trying to complain about it too, because I seen the episode.
Yeah.
So my question to you guys is this. I don't know if I gave y'all enough, but did y'all have any opinion about that? Just the whole situation? Because I guess the co-owner, because they saying the man is an owner. First they say he was an employee, because I thought he was just an employee. He was the cook there. You know what I'm saying? But folks was upset because, he's not an owner. Why am I going to his establishment? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean and that's for me. That's the avenue the road to everything that got taken down, man. It just overexposed social media bullshit, man. I mean, they may very well be, I'm gonna say, three good guys. I mean, Keith Lee, what he's been contributing to our community and our mom and pop establishments, man, for freaking years. Mr. Tenderism guy, he's working, man. He's just doing his job. He don't give a fuck about social media.
All he
Don't
wanted
give
to
a
do
fuck
was
about social media.
He just want to get off work and grab his pint. I'm sorry, Jaquari. Well, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, and the security guy is probably your old head. Who
No,
don't who
was young.
But I mean, I'm trying to give him grace, man. Grace is free, bro. Grace is free,
No doubt.
But they
No doubt.
even the owner, people trying to make it seem like the owner is predatory towards this man. We don't know this man's life. We don't know what he was doing before he started cooking for these people.
Yeah.
You don't know. You have no idea what their relationship is. I just think this platform turned it ugly.
It turned into an ugly, unnecessarily ugly situation.
And I don't watch the news, so I don't know the details. But there you go.
Damon, what you think?
I don't even know what y'all talking about, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
Okay.
Who are y'all talking about? I mean, what happened?
It's an older gentleman, man, who was on TikTok, and he worked in a restaurant, whether he was a part owner or the cook, right? And he had what was that? A rib, prime rib.
And then fall off the bone. Yeah.
Fall off the bone, right?
I think I seen him with oxtails.
Yeah, oxtails, but he had the ribs first. Fall off the bone, right? And what he did when he picked it up, he said, fall off the bone. It fell down. He got up, right? He took his hat off, slammed it.
Yeah.
And then he came back into the camera and said, tenderism, right? And it blew up. It blew up. And he kept doing it, right? So Keith Lee blessed him. And it was cool, but then when people perceived that Keith Lee got snubbed, overzealous security guy, so because he's talking about, I want to give him $4,000. Well, he's busy, bro. I want to give him $4,000. You understand what I'm saying? Because of your restaurant that you're working for. You know what I mean? But that's really the gist of it, Damon. So
okay. Hey, bro, I'm sorry, man. I don't have anything because I'm trying to imagine it in my mind, but who is Keith Lee, bro?
See, this is my point. You are blessed, brother, because you have not wasted any of your precious moments with unnecessary shit.
Yeah.
Corey,
Yo, they're
Corey,
gonna.
what you think?
He don't know who he is. They're gonna burn us, man. He don't know. They're gonna burn us.
Look, he does a good thing, but go ahead, Corey. What do you think, brother?
Man, I was stuck on the first part of it. As I'm not a professional chef, but I love to cook.
Yeah,
So I know what that feels like to get those flavors right, to get that one bite right. It's almost like the art, like photography, like getting that one thing nobody else knows.
yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And you throw that hat. I've done that before. I got a dumbass dance I just did for Thanksgiving in North Carolina when I went to see my family.
Yeah.
And all of them looked at me and was like, what the fuck? So I that's the part I get. But I'm like, Damon, I don't really follow too much. I turn off what I don't have to pay attention to.
No doubt. No doubt. Look, let me tell you something. I'm retired. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is fill my 8 hours. I got an 8-hour requisite of filling it with something.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting around not doing something. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So I watch I watch it because see, we come from the generation that is entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not real life. It's entertainment. Yeah. We being entertained by this foolishness. You know what I mean? But yeah, look, my barber always say, what do you always say? Monkey business.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Buffoonery. Fucking buffoonery.
I like the fact, the only thing I like about it is people are able to make a living off of it, though.
Yeah, I like that too. Like I like the internet. I ain't got no problems with the internet. I know how to turn that bitch off and on.
Yeah. But see,
I don't do none of that bullshit.
We come from that generation, though, Corey. We come from that generation. We understand what entertainment is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We also came from that generation where you're talking about nothing but foolishness.
Foolishness. Yeah. Ain't not what
I mean, you have to be able to differentiate, man, between the two, man. Real talk.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Have y'all ever watched something, man, in its totality, and at the end of it, you say, man, what the hell I just wasted all that time, man. Yeah. Coming to a conclusion that I waste my time.
Yeah.
It's all entertainment, man. I mean,
every time I binge watch anime.
I know, man. And it's the same thing over. I'm sorry, but I'm an anime guy too, man. I'm like, why am I sitting here watching the same thing that's recycled? You know what I'm saying? But it's therapy for me, especially when it's one of them kind that's fighting, that like is violence. That's therapy for me to watch that. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I
get it. Conan the Barbarian is that for me.
Yeah, I used to read them all the time. But go ahead, Corey.
It's back to what Jaquari said earlier when he said, I'm doing it early.
I don't remember, man, so I can't help you.
No, it's something tied to our actual memory and what Big Dog was just actually saying. It's like I almost can see it. Like I always tell you guys, I'm not super verbal, but when people speak, I can see exactly what they're actually saying.
No doubt.
Yeah. So it's like a tie-in. You know what I mean? It's like a sweater. The sweater's a full sweater, but it got this string right here. But if somebody pull that string, that bitch turned into a ball of yarn. It's no longer a sweater. You know what I'm saying?
That's a gift. That's a gift to have that kind of insight.
As a matter of fact, it's an artistic gift. It's an artistic eye, Corey. So let's segue into what we want to talk about.
How many times y'all been in the crowd and brother said something that everybody thought was poignant and all that stuff, and they asked you, say, what do you think? Yeah. I wasn't listening, bro.
I
don't mean no disrespect, but you didn't catch me. You know what I'm saying? You didn't strike it.
Yeah. So Corey, really and truly, because I am a Facebook member. I'm one of your Facebook followers, and I see you on Instagram. And really and truly, you display your photogenic and you're also the video artistry, right? And what I wanted to ask you, can you break it down to us from, and you could be as meticulous as you want to be, but how did you start, and what is the basis of your eye?
It's a good question. Observation first.
Okay.
Being a kid that grew up in like certain environments, I'm pretty sure all of us grew up city environments. That's why we like to, say where we from so much, is because it raised us. But it gave us scars, it gave us everything that we actually feel like we needed to go out into the world. So observations first do that, and then actually travel, going into the military, going to other countries, and seeing how different they live opposed to us. So the observation just actually poured in, and then therapy through that process actually tie in. So everything starts with observation. So photography was the first thing. I used to shoot when it was just disposable cameras, and I used to just throw it on the bed. And then I think it was a friend of mine that actually said, "You got an eye," and I never paid attention to what he meant until I started to like print, develop film. So I started developing film. That's when I started to see these moments, these unadulterated moments that if no one's talking to you, you dig in your nose. You'll do whatever it is that you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? You'll be your honest, true self without society, without this, without any of that shit. That moment, that whatever it is you do, from scratching your arm to having that thought about your mom or whatever it is, that photograph, you could never actually put that back into play again. So it was just, let's even like listening to strong perspectives. It's the 360. It brings everything back around. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a needle knitting the sweater. You can pick and choose what type of fabric you want, but if you pick linen with cotton, that linen ain't gonna stay there. That shit gonna fall the fuck off. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
It's like being cut from a cloth. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying that the way that you experience life contributed to your eye then.
Yeah. So everything's a story. Like, everybody got eyes, right? So everything's a movie. So I just choose to document it through a lens,
okay,
which is my eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Having something to leave when I'm gone to people to actually either admire or destroy.
Mm-hmm. So there's different things. There's different ways to do it. I know it's so you've done the model thing where it's individuals in which you capture them in their candid moments, and also professionally, and also whatever you feel is here, right?
Yeah.
What is your go-to camera, right? Or do you prefer video?
I like both, because I started out with okay, a little backstory. I'm a big movie buff, right? So when I watch movies, it's hard for me. So it's like Damon said, you watch a movie and you get to the end, you be like, I left this shit. But I usually start at the beginning. Because if you watch Hollywood, the story is told the same so many times, but it just put a different filter on it, right? So it was the same thing with photography. So as I was doing things with photography, one of the things I'm bringing back is Breakfast With, where I interviewed artist friends of mine, invited them over breakfast, and I would pay for it, but I would shoot them. This was before podcast. This was blogging time.
That's a beautiful thing too, brother.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But for me, it was actually, these conversations was happening with us. And me, it was important because I even created this thing called The Unknowns. In a time when pop culture's king, when did it become our culture to be popular, right? And this was like in 2011. And so I wouldn't actually feature anybody's heads in my photographs. Like, you know what I mean? And when Tumblr was around, I think it's still around. But I actually created this thing called Unknowns. And so I would intentionally shoot with other parts of human beings and what they were beautiful from, right? So Breakfast With was that thing. So when I sat down with Big Dog and me and him would just talk, just like we're doing now, I would shoot that. And that became the Breakfast With. I don't know if I'm actually telling you.
Yeah. Okay. So where can that be found though? Because I know
What, Breakfast With? Oh,
there's-
everything's new now. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all old. You know, that's all things that I started with, and I always wanted to carry off in the video. I think that was the question you asked me, but I always wanted to carry over into video afterwards. But then video came and flooded the airwaves around 2013, 14, maybe.
Okay.
And so in that element, that's why I picked up the video side of it. Just wanting to tell the same stories that I was doing with still photography. So that's why the tie-in with the movies. Most movies are just photographs. So when you see a movie, at the beginning, you see director of photography. And the director of photography is the person who actually put those stills together to make you cry, make you laugh, all that shit. So video was the next step for me after photography.
That's great. Corey, I don't want to. I'm hoping I'm not going off topic, man. But as a photographer, do you find value in like the old school black and white genre?
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, that's one of my loves, because it's just like take for instance Gordon Parks, right? He was shooting in a time where people had couldn't drink out of the water fountains if you was a certain color, right? So now we back in the same time. So you're having some of them those most beautiful photographs. And it's funny you asked me that question, because it ties into now, into the art and what I feel now. Most people, and this is no disrespect to anybody and how they feel or anything, will feel despair. At this moment, what's going to come out of this time will be some of the greatest art that they can never actually erase.
Okay. I like that. Do you have any ambitions on, because you spoke on video, right?
Yeah.
To actually directing a short movie or a long form movie or anything like that?
Right now, if you watch too, Big Dog, I know you probably saw it, but I do this thing called short stories. And I just want to do short stories, with all this streaming shit, all this shit that actually people got going on behind closed doors where you can't see them. You can either be mad about it, or you can actually find a different way to move in it. And I'm just finding a different way of actually moving in it. So the short stories to me is the same as my video or my photography. It's about the people I know who's genuine, you know what I mean, that I've built relationships with.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So short stories, Breakfast With, a couple other shits that I got coming. But even the show that I got coming up in March, Protect Your Mind. Most people would think it is about this period that we actually in. Nah, it's about the 5-pound bag of sugar that we put into our bodies on a daily basis. But we want to go out here and try to protest. If your body's not of the same sound in mind, why would you go put yourself in harm because of how you feel? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a concept of protect your mind. Like, you know what I mean? All of this is danger, but none of it's real if you protecting your mind.
Okay, so elaborate a little bit more. So I want to make sure I understand exactly what you're saying. You're telling me
it might not. It might not. Yeah, it might not. Like I said, we all got one brain, right? I'm gonna even take it to a more comical place. I got friends of mine, and I'll go to their house, and I'll be like, "Yo, why you got a living room that nobody can sit in?" And they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know. My mom used to always do that."
That's tradition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tradition, yeah.
So if you think about us as human beings, if we're so conditioned, how strong are we, and how much time have we put toward the power that we are? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Good point.
So delusion, lie. Like, you can lie to America but you can't lie to yourself because you got to wake up every day. Anytime you walk past a mirror of glass, you see that same person. So having a certain truth to yourself creates a different art and a different mindset to how you move, right? Even as we get older. So, being you, like you said, you full with the grateful. And for me, I'm super grateful because I can have these type of conversations. Whereas before, when I was in a depressionary state, I didn't feel like I could have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, strong perspectives, different platforms is huge for me. So that's why I'll be like, I don't know why everybody's upset with the internet. Either you're upset with yourself. That's why you're so upset with what's going on with the internet.
I mean, and it's real. It's real.
Really quickly, I've been involved in conversations with young people, man, and I flat out tell them that, like, okay, you probably got yourself in a situation because you're seeking a certain level of independence, right?
Yeah.
But subconsciously, hell, maybe not even subconsciously, you've never dictated anything for yourself.
Right.
You don't have your own taste in music. You don't have your own fashion sense. You have no idea who you are. So
Yeah.
how can you attain independence? When all you see is the goal.
Yeah.
And also, just to
But isn't
piggyback
it all incumbent upon
Go ahead, Dana.
when it comes to the young folk thinking the way you described the Corey? Isn't their whole life predicated on getting money? You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
And material things.
Well,
Not.
again,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's a big one for me as a parent. What we provide our kids with is what they are circumstance of, right? Environment, everything. So one of the things that I find interesting about adults is, not saying none of you guys, but when we become adults, we start looking at our kids like they didn't come from us. So if my kid was a child and I was looking for peace and all I did was provide them with material things, so I should actually understand when they actually all just about the bag. One doesn't de-alienate the other. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's got to come from somewhere. It's not just the internet. It's not, they spend more time outside, yes, but they spend time in the house as well.
It comes from it comes from parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not you're a great parent, or whether or not you are the type of parent that work hard and you feed your children and you clothe them and but you don't give them the necessities, because that's what children do, is they see it from the extreme. You know what I mean? Because they haven't, to me, my opinion, they haven't matured to understand that life ain't about extremes unless the extreme is going to harm you in some kind of way. You know what I mean?
But I think when you're rearing and raising kids, I think the extreme is them understanding their relationship with you as a parent, as a caregiver. You feel what I'm saying? They reacting by how you nurture them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
We on the same page.
So,
yeah.
Right. So if you're giving them that attention, they cry and you respond. That's dependability. They know they can depend on you. And that is at the very early stage of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't, I'm just reacting because I need my diaper changed. Or I'm just reacting because I'm hungry.
Yeah. They don't have any
saying?
words for how they feel.
It's just what it is. So it's incumbent upon the parent, it's incumbent upon the nurturer to respond to that. That has nothing to do with the world, because the world is encapsulated with that child. And somebody being responsible for them, somebody being in that place. And I think that from that inception, that's where it starts. Everything else is through peer pressure and neglect, and all that stuff. That's when all the negativity and all the garbage comes into play. But initially, it's about safety, security, consistency, and all of that. So it comes from a basic premise. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, before we move on, because we kind of drifting on, Jaquari, if you have something quick, go ahead. But I want to tie everything up with Corey because, like I said, I follow him on all the different joints, and really and truly, he is a seriously gifted artistic soul. So,
Oh, big dog, you know, man, I appreciate the love.
I'm gonna give you the opportunity. But Jaquari, did you have something?
Yeah, and it's something we can come back to.
Okay.
Just just for the sake of moving on. But I'd like to ask you guys a two-part question. If anybody, any of us can remember it at some point. Okay.
Please.
How important? No, it's just a one-part question. How important is it for a parent to teach a child? How important is it to teach a child the concept of trial and error?
I mean, okay, that's easy to remember. Corey, let's bring it back to you and talk about, because you talked about how I'm assuming that you love both. You love stills, you love that, and you also love the video and all these different things, right?
Yeah. Like I always try to tell people, I'm a adrenaline junkie to some degree, but I'm a Jameson drinker, a father, a 20-year-old, a lover of food, photography, and video. And and occasionally I'm a professional shit talker.
You're a professional.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really and truly, I believe Corey's always been about his business. He's always done things, and I know what I've seen, you have a name out in your verse. And really and truly, I wanted to give you your flowers because
I appreciate you, big
that
dog.
is something, because we was youngins when we knew each other.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and the evolution, like when it comes to my brothers, evolutions of us.
Yeah.
You
strong perspectives.
Everybody that's incredible to me.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm happy to be here, grateful to be here, full to be here, man. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. And that's some real stuff right there.
Yes, it is.
We'll wait for Damon to come back, but there's a couple of things. I sent you guys the topics.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, I think it's some meaty topics that we can really get into. And I definitely appreciated that they came to me. And I send you guys these topics because I know that you're gonna give me your spin on it. And that gives us really great content. You know what I mean? Because really and truly, when it comes to housekeeping, do us a favor, go to Strong Perspective Podcast on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Build us up. And I'm not asking you to build us up because we're trying to push ourselves in a monetary position. Honestly, if it happens, it happens. But really and truly, this ride right here is worth it. You know what I'm saying? But I want other people to see what we do. With the three of us and our guests, especially friends of the show, I ask you guys to come back for a reason, because you have something to offer to everybody. You feel what I'm saying? It's the truth. This is the truth. But yeah, go to the Strong Perspective Podcast, like, share, and subscribe. Recommend it to your friends, and we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm going to do is put the first topic on the bottom of the screen, so the people in our comments will be able to see what's going on. And let's start with the meaty one, right? Let's start with that one, because I think out of the four of us, out of the four of us, right? This one, I don't understand why it's just, oh, I know what it is. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just do this. Because you know you be on that old man stuff and you're not thorough.
What I'm supposed to mash to make it do?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Double click.
But let me see.
What's your definition of
Everything is
toxic
everything.
masculinity?
There it is. We
My
good.
bad, fellas. I had to run and go get my notes. I
Had
spent
to
a lot
go
of
get
time
your
on it.
note. No doubt. No,
I
I'm
spent a lot of
sorry. That's
time
the
on
wrong
it.
one, guys. I think the big one is the best one. The first one is the best one because there's a lot to it. You know what I mean? Bill Blast, what's going on, good brother? Hey, Big Bill, William Scarborough, friend of the show. Him and Bill Blast, friends of the show. Love you, fellas. Auntie, love you. Little Mama, Philly Baum, love you. Tiffany, Cuz, love you, baby. If you're still here, we love y'all. So you see at the bottom of the screen, folks in the comments and guys, I'm gonna leave it up there until we mash on it and get all the juice we can up out of it. But you don't have to be you don't have to be thorough or crazy about it, right? I mean, as far as a meticulous answer. But what is your definition of toxic masculinity? Now, I'm going to start just a little bit, just to start it off a little bit. I had to look it up, right? Because I've been hearing it. Well, I guess we've been hearing it like the last 3-4 years on little talk shows and little podcasts, especially the ones that has a lot of strong-minded women, right? Now, y'all understand, I did not disrespect them when I say strong-minded women, because toxic masculinity is something to grab onto if you don't agree with someone, right? But I looked it up, and not to get into the gigantic definition of it, right? But I saw there was 2 white men, professors or whatever, who came up with the theory of what it is, right? And what's so crazy about it is I believe they don't go together, period. Because when you say toxic, it's like a disease that you catch. You see what I'm saying? But to me, I think, now here's the definition real quick. Toxic masculinity refers to a narrow, restrictive set of traditional male stereotypes emphasizing dominance, aggression, emotional suppression, and control, which harms both men and women, harms both men and society by promoting violence, misogyny, homophobia, discouraging emotional expression, and seeking help. But that's the definition of it, right? So, with that being said, I read that definition. And I'm like, well, it depends how you look at it. Because in the definition, it says traditional male stereotypes. What do you mean by traditional male stereotypes? Because what you did was throw a blanket statement out there, and then I'm going to let you guys chime in after I say this. You're throwing a blanket statement out there that any way a traditional man will act is in danger of being called toxic. So that's all I wanted to give to you. If you want me to read it again, the definition again, I will. But whoever wants to start have an opinion about it, tell me, well, what is your definition of toxic masculinity?
Toxic masculinity, man, I think is unchecked nature. It's the things that make us, you know, average men to an extreme level. You know, but and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, man. I mean, you know, toxic masculinity or traits that are labeled that can be labeled as toxic masculinity has been responsible, man, for the establishment of fucking society. I mean, that's just what it is.
Okay.
You know, and situations where male voices were the only voices that were heard are usually the spaces where, you know, that phrase is used. You know, where you might have women, not necessarily, I wouldn't say with strong personalities, but women with ambition. You know, it's hard to compete with traits that men are born with and have been, you know, generally accepted in society on an even level. They can't do it.
Okay.
They can't do it. You know, so I mean, because the perception is different. You know, I mean, when we think about aggressive women want the same things as we as regular men want. They just, you know, they have the ambition and the drive to go get it, and that's a turnoff for most people. But why does that even exist? You know, we all had the ability to live our lives to the best of our abilities under our own steam, and that's what it is.
Okay. Corey, what do you think?
Toxic masculinity to me is another word for trauma. The most sensitive people in the world are gangsters. And you know why? Because they don't know how to actually use their emotional intelligence to actually get out of a situation. So they only use violence, and they die violently and the whole nine. So it's not so it's just those two things for me. It's just reworded. Everything's rooted in your childhood trauma. So some people are born certain ways, like, you know, it's just shit we haven't investigated. But I do think it's written to a group of people.
Good point. Good point. Okay, let me read this real quick, and then you go, Damon. The reason why I said earlier that they both don't go together, right? The definition of toxic: harmful or dangerous to health or life when taken into the body, poisonous, harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive and insidious way. This is why I feel they don't go together. But go ahead, Damon. What's your opinion? What's your definition of toxic masculinity, and do you have an opinion about it? Are you frozen? I think you might be frozen. Well, we're gonna wait for him to come back. But
you know, Corey, it's the funny thing, man, that you mentioned gangsters earlier, because, you know, I heard it said on this platform before that, you know, gangsters are street dudes and unstable women had the same attitudes.
Yeah,
and they address things in the same ways.
That's why you see people slap their hands and bitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it fits because, you know, I pull her hair out.
Yeah.
Or I shoot this motherfucker up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when we was younger, You're on the basketball court, a nigga do a move, catch you with a pick. Next thing you know, the nigga go to the bag to pop you with one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ego shit. Like I said, again, no emotional intelligence. Throughout every major city, I feel like that's the going thing. So that's why I relate any toxic words that they use to masculinity when it comes to black men and where we come from. Because at the end of the day, that's a big. I heard Jay-Z say this once in a New York Times interview, and he said if we knew how to actually relate to each other, we would have there would have been a lot less fights, right? So he was like, if you saw another brother look at you and you looked at him, you was like, fuck you looking at? And then nigga would say, what the fuck you looking at? And it was on, right? Because both of you thought that you saw each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was no emotional intelligence to even try to handle that matter. It was a conflict at 1st.
Mhm.
Then there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, let me say this, Damon, then I want you to chime in. Did you hear my definition of toxic, Damon? All right, we lost you again, sir. All right, let me ask you a
you
question.
coming? Yeah.
I can't wait. Can you hear us, Damon?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Did you hear my definition of toxic? Huh? You said you can hear us, Damon?
I can barely hear you, bro. It's breaking up.
Okay.
As soon as I go get my notes, man, it started breaking up on me.
All right, well, look, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Tell us what your definition of toxic masculinity is, and then we'll go from there. See, if I was paranoid, I'd be
I
saying,
didn't hear.
see, the man is stepping in the way of Damon because he getting ready to say something profound, and he's getting ready to blow our brains out with it.
You see what happened when they know a man about to put it down? Did
You see that? They get in the way. They get in the way of that brother. And they trying to stop his shine. All right, you with us? You with us, Damon?
I think
Yeah, go ahead.
I think personally, man, when it comes to male, masculinity, toxic masculinity, and all that stuff, it's all situational to me, man. It depends on whether or not you respect the person that you're listening to. You know what I'm saying? Or if a person perceives this man as weak, then they think, well, he's overcompensating. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to sound tough. He's trying to be this and he's trying to be that. Which might be true in some cases, man. But when you're talking about a person being vulnerable and they're talking about what it is that they're going through, you have to, if you care, have to have an understanding whether or not that makes a difference to you. You can label them as, man, you being toxic right now, or you can understand what they've been through and understand why they came to that conclusion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all individualized.
Good point.
Have you how many times have you heard women saying, well, he not thug enough for me? You know what I'm saying?
Toxic
but when
behavior.
he becomes that,
Mhm.
right, when he becomes that, why? Well, how come he can't be sensitive enough? You know what I'm saying? You dealing with gaps. You know what I'm saying? It's all emotional. Men are emotional creatures too.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Men are emotional creatures too. We have feelings. If I've been through some stuff that was traumatic to me and I respond in a negative way, where's your understanding in that aspect?
You got to respect it.
You know what I'm saying? If I take on the attitude, well, hey, that ain't gonna never happen to me again because I was made to look like this way. So I'm gonna take on this persona. I'm gonna take on this attitude. You know what I'm saying? It's situational. But you want to label that as this so that could be weaponized. It's crazy to me.
Whoa. Hold on. Great damn word you just said. Weaponized. Keep going, brother, because that's my opinion. But go ahead, then.
And for me, that's what it is, man. Because there's been times, man, where I went off on a friend who said something to me that we all deemed disrespectful, and it wasn't really that serious to me. But the surrounding people around him, oh man, you gonna take that? If somebody say, hey man, you a chump, man, you soft. You understand? How do a so-called man usually respond to that? You know what I'm saying? Somebody in my position be like, all right, bro, you don't know me like that, man. Don't go there. And it's over. It's a dead subject for me. But if I get off into the weeds and say, well, I'm soft, then you a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It escalates, man.
That's real.
It escalates. But it might be another brother sitting in the background talking about, all right, bro, hey, and grab you and pull you to the side. Hey, man, hey, bro, check yourself, man, because you know where you was at. You know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't think we do that for each other, man. So we create this kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And then you got Nick Fuentes.
That's a good point, David. I mean, but it's a give and take, man, between men. It's got to be a give and take between men. You know, if you feel that our relationship is strong enough for you to check me on something, then I got to feel that, I can be checked by you.
Yeah.
And that's all about, being grounded in who you are. Because I could take it from my friends. But something about the way I was raised, and I don't want to say where I come from, because it's good people where I come from, but it was something in me when I was younger that couldn't stand what I perceive to be disrespect from anybody. There's no telling how many bridges I've burned or whatever because I thought something was slick, and I regret that.
Doing it in a heartbeat. Yeah, that's real shit. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's the way you was raised. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the part I'm talking about too, the emotional intelligence. We wasn't taught that.
Yeah.
So when a nigga take your bike up the block, you know what I mean? Your mom say, nigga, if you don't bash that nigga's head in, you know what I'm saying? So now your masculinity, even coming from the women's side, like, so there's these stories that we're always told about what we're supposed to be all the time. I always think about this too as a parent. We tell our kids what to do all the way up until they're 18, and then we kick them out the house, and they like, the fuck you think I'm supposed to do? At the end of the day, you've been telling me what to do for 18 years. How the fuck I'm supposed to figure it out now? Again, it's a large, it's a funny thing. Yeah. All of this shit.
I mean, it is.
The toxic masculinity, that what men's supposed to be about, what women's supposed to be about, especially in the Black community, boy. We use trauma to bond with each other. You know what I'm saying? That in itself is some sick shit. Like Damon said, we weaponize trauma and therapy. Anything that actually can complete us or get us to another thing, to take us out of our comfort zone of ignorance, we immediately shit on that. You know what I mean? And again, that's the part where you're allowed to make that word toxic masculinity and all this other shit. I don't know any white men that they talk about in that regard. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that online, but it's an innocent observation for me, just like what I said in photography.
Corey, you're absolutely right. But they say that about white men, but white men don't give a shit. You understand what I'm saying to you?
No, I don't hear it, is what I mean. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But see, that's where it was developed by. They put it, see, what they did was they put it in our community and they were done with it. But it flew because of it was a thesis, it was a theory that was put out there in the 90s. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And it did not do any traction because it stayed in the white community.
Right.
But then when it came to the black community, when we had sisters like, I don't need a man, I don't do the da da da. And then when there's a debate, like, oh, I'm a traditional like this example, I'm a traditional dude. I'm traditional. You gonna cook, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And the woman don't want to do it. She's like, damn, that's toxic. You are toxic.
Right.
That's just an example of where the way it was used, right? And what it was to get under somebody's skin.
Yeah.
I that's my opinion about it.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Anything else to offer before we move on?
I think some women out here on this platform, I think they could be accused of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
You say women?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As
Like I said,
vigorously as
behavior.
as they stand on that,
Yeah. It's behavior.
So let me ask you this real quick, the three of you guys. Can we replace look, can we replace the toxic, and that's it bothers me, I guess you could tell, but can we replace the toxic from the clinical shit toxic to you being an asshole?
Yeah.
Asshole behavior.
Yeah.
That's what it is when it goes to the extreme. Now, being traditional and you want what you want in your household, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying?
But see, that's the thing, though. I mean, if you want that in your household, then that needs to be worked towards.
Yeah.
It's got there's got to be compromise there. There's got to be discussions. And a lot of men go into marriages and relationships and just shacking up or whatever with that expectation. But they have no concept of the work that it takes, to have that kind of system run right.
Well, that's the emotional intelligence again. But you don't have... Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, but in those type of situations, man, aren't they bringing baggage to a situation, man?
Well, yeah, I mean, this baggage brought everywhere, though, right?
You know what I'm saying? If you go into a relationship where you expecting this type of man, you expecting this type of attitude, this type of situation, which is not going to result in anything but anger and resentment, right? That perpetuates itself. You know what I'm saying? It's all about what you experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your point, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No. You're right. That's the experience. That's the emotional intelligence. It goes back to what Jaquari just said. Like, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, and as he said, I'm shacking up with this woman, at the end of the day, I got to be able to present to her what I actually want as a man from this relationship. She's got to be able to say to me, that's not something that I actually want. You know what I'm saying? For things to actually not go into the toxic part of it. But we don't have those type of abilities to actually hear or understand one another because we come in with what we was talking about earlier, so much baggage, right?
So it comes into play when the other person don't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, the other person don't even understand. I'll give you a prime example, right? In dating someone outside the country and they don't come from what you come from, you demonize that woman by actually believing that what you came from is what you should expect from her instead of actually watching how she actually moves, right? Because you went to go date her, you asked her out, y'all went out, y'all hanging out. So at the end of the day, you have a right to understand her from that other aspect, not from where you actually came from. And in order to do that, you have to have an emotional intelligence. Because if I don't, then I'm just actually saying, man, this motherfucker don't do, motherfucker. And that's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
I got
you. I was just gonna say, but that shit get magnified when you came home from work, hard day and shit, and came home, and she got a goddamn plate in front of her, and you ain't got nothing.
You don't smell nothing burning.
But nowadays, she just got home a couple minutes before you did, bro.
But
that might be the case. But damn, that's when you go to the drive-through. You know what I'm saying? It's the thought that count, bro.
look, let me tell you something. To be honest with you, it don't have to be prepared when I come to the house. Just show me the motion. Once in a while, show me that motion. Because if I'm home first, now we were trained well, man. When I'm home first, my responsibility is to feed the family.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just me. That's how I feel. Right?
Yeah, same.
But if I come to the crib and she's sitting up there with a box of a 2-piece Popeyes and shit, right? With them hard ass biscuits. And I'm like, well, where mine at? Is it in the microwave? Oh, I thought you was gonna stop.
You know, I
this shit again.
I used to suffer a lot, man. Well, I used to think I suffered a lot in my marriage because I've seen the situation to where all the good that I received had to be earned. I thought it had to be earned. You know, and that's where I believe, Corey, my emotional intelligence grew over the years.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, everything is an exchange, man. Especially in a marriage. Marriages are conditional.
Yeah.
They are conditional, and that's the first thing. If you want to be, I think if you want to be in a successful relationship, that's one of the first things you need to realize, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you want something, as I said before, if you want something to be a certain way, then you need to figure it out. If you can't have exactly what you want, if you want to stay with this person, you know, then I think you working towards the closest thing to it has some merit.
At this stage right now in my life, man, light got more traction than love. If you like somebody, that means you actually studied them. You spent time in the emotional intelligence and the conversations that you want to have with this person. When you're just saying that you love somebody, they just bypassing each other like this stink bitch, stink ass nigga. You know what I mean? Ain't no real conversations, but you're just in the room together. You know what I'm saying? But when you like somebody, you spend time. You want to actually get to know how they actually think and what, you know, like Jaquari just said, you gotta if you want this shit to work, you better figure out how you see it so you can explain it.
No doubt.
You know what's crazy though? I'm on the side of Keith, man. When I come in the crib, I'm coming in there and I'm making sure everybody eat.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure everybody eating. You know what I'm saying? That's just my mindset. I don't give a damn about the rest. Now, if we talking about some special shit, if we talk about some special shit, we made plans, and I lay it out for you, and you coming with a damn a plastic ring out the jacket box, Cracker Jack box. That's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But everyday life, if I started, if I led with that everyday life, making sure everybody eat, I'm gonna end with that.
That's what it is, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end with that because that's just what I do. That's just what it is. And I'm not gonna say, well, hey man, I cook dinner or whatever. But if you come to the crib and you just got a whole bunch of shit over here and you put it in your special closet, I got a problem with you. I got a problem with you. Hey, lay the cookies out for everybody to eat.
Who opened my cookies? Who opened my cookies?
Yeah, my wife.
Yo, I'm gonna show my pettiness on the whole shit. If I come in the house, right? I'm with Big Dog, I'm with Dame, I'm cooking. If I do that 3 days in a row, and then the 4th day you come in and you expect that, you're gonna get this look. Like, what the fuck, man? Am I supposed to cook every fucking day at this point? Like,
yeah.
Hey,
You know, and like I said, you know, I told you we were taught by the best, man. Everybody got to eat, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
Even when I'm mad, I'm still cooking. You want something to eat?
Yeah, yeah.
of course. I do that shit 7 days a week, but when I want to be by my goddamn self,
You
Oh
are
yeah.
entitled to a day off, man. You're
Right.
entitled to a day off.
when I say hey y'all good, you ate,
That's
I'm gonna
it.
go down
Yeah.
here and watch the game.
No.
Hey,
As soon as they
you hear
said,
the first footstep coming downstairs, you like, oh, no, what the hell you want now?
hell
That's
yeah.
the
Hey,
truth,
look,
man.
I
I
got to
gave
the
you the
point.
time.
I got to the point. I got to the point where I will the days that, and it's usually on, you know, going into a Friday or whatever. I will hit you with an itinerary. Hey, is this in the freezer? Is that in the freezer?
Yeah.
I ain't doing shit today.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is
Come
what it
on,
is, bro.
man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Gotta
look
get
here,
that one time, man.
look
Yeah.
here.
Couple
They
times a week, man.
come downstairs when you done set it aside your time.
Yeah.
You ain't even
Yeah.
leaving the house. You just got all the shit recorded
Yeah.
over the week. And they come down and they want to talk about some random shit.
Yep. You know what happened
It's
at
like,
work
wait a
today?
minute, man.
Look, I got the ugliest face as soon as they say that.
Yeah. But
Oh my god, that was funny, man.
anything else before we move on to the next one?
You know, I've been watching. For some strange reason, I fell down this rabbit hole to watching dog training videos,
Okay.
and you know, something I took an interest in, man, is the way that older dogs teach puppies.
Mm.
You know, and it made a lot of sense. I don't have any particular points or whatever, but they don't have words. They teach through hierarchy. They teach through sometimes reprimand. They teach through many ways. The point is the big dogs teach the puppies how to conduct themselves in society.
Mm.
And I think that may be a root cause of this whole toxic masculinity phenomenon. You know,
Mm.
I had positive male examples around me everywhere. It didn't matter what their job was.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't matter what their job was, from freaking teachers, principals, doctors, deputy sheriffs, police, dope dealers, pimps, couple of killers. You know, they all seen something in me at some point in time to bless me with some with some
Yeah.
knowledge.
That's real shit.
Yeah. Hold on for a second. Next subject. Hey man, great. Hey, great contribution, guys. For real. I appreciate your input. Next thing is, and this kind of goes along the lines of what we're talking about. Having forgiveness does not mean granting access to you. What are your thoughts about it? And where I got this from, just to give you some background, it was a pastor on YouTube, and his sermon had to do with forgiveness. And he hit me with this gem. He hit us with this gem. That having forgiveness does not mean granting access, meaning even though I might forgive you, right, don't mean you still have the same access of when you offended me. So what are your thoughts about that? We'll start with you, Corey, if you're ready.
Oh yeah. Does forgiveness grant access? No, because you're forgiving yourself. So at the end of the day, who you giving access, to? Like most times, if there has to be a forgiveness involved, that means that person is supposed to probably leave your life, like, right? So, yeah, it's like giving yourself forgiveness. Forgiveness to me is actually understand codependency when it comes to friends and family members, and even just, that title to me. So at the end of the day, forgiveness is just for yourself.
So,
It's
so
not,
what?
it's not, it doesn't, you're not supposed to grant access to anybody, after you forgive them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so basically, what you're saying to me, if I want to make sure I understand you, is when it comes to forgiveness, when somebody does an affront to you,
yeah,
you're really forgiving yourself for being vulnerable to that person.
yeah, to that situation. Yeah, that situation.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Because there's a thing called self-correction too, right? So
Okay.
forgiveness can fall in self-correction. If I do something to Big Dog, but I come to Big Dog and Big Dog feels some type of way about it, but he be like, oh, I ain't gonna say nothing to Core about it. But I come to him and I say something about the moment. That makes our friendship a little bit, a third bigger than what it was. Because at the end of the day, Big Dog see that I have a self-correction method, right? So forgiveness for us might be a bigger thing if we're talking about forgiveness in that type of life.
Okay. Okay. Damon, what do you think?
Well, I think that if I allow you to gain access, if I allow you to gain access, I'm not letting you know how fucked up you are. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm a friend to you. Especially if we have a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
You said you're not?
I said if I'm a friend to you, if we have a personal relationship, I'm a friend with you, and I allow you to gain access afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you know how messed up a person you are.
So what you're saying is you may, depending on the person, you may allow them to have access again, but you will have a certain feeling about them.
It's tantamount to saying,
I can't do that. Yeah.
Right. It's tantamount to saying, yeah, man, you hurt me, you wound me in a harsh ass way, but that's all right. You still my guy, you still my gal. I'm not doing that.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
So basically, it's like you actually agreeing with the phase. Like,
right,
because I forgive you, you don't have the same access to me.
Right. You think you could do this shit again, or whenever you get mad or in your feelings. And then after that, I have to go through the process of not knocking your head off your shoulders and shit.
I got you.
You too much time.
I got you. The Quarry.
Well, just to piggyback off of what Corey said a little bit, forgiveness, is solely for you. It's only for you. It benefits the person who may have caused the affront, absolutely. But when you forgive somebody for that affront, what you're doing is you're emptying your emotional basket, man, and making room for the good.
Good point.
That's what you have to consider.
Yeah.
And it's in regards to access, man. As much as we like to cut off the poison root, a lot of times that particular poison root, that connection might run a little deep.
Yeah.
So cutting this person off, may not be as easy as we like to think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I think I was attracted to it, and then if anybody else have something to contribute more, I was attracted to this actual saying because you have to be very mature to be able to cut somebody off or bring them back into your situation.
Or you got to understand you and what that person means to your life, right?
Yeah.
Well, can it be more simpler than that? What about self-preservation?
Explain more. What do you mean?
Yeah. self-preservation is deciding, man, I gotta separate myself from this person because
Yes, yeah,
I can potentially cause just as much harm as they cause me.
to be here. Wow, yeah, that's the
Mhm.
mature part. Big Dog's talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
good point. Really good point. Anything else, guys? Because this is straight to the point. You know what I mean? I just threw this
That's a
in
good
here.
question. Man.
You know, just wanted to hear your guys' point of view to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. We're gonna move to the next point, and you guys let me know what you think. See, look. This is old man stuff, man. Y'all got to excuse me. It's gonna go out again. Hold on. I put it.
We just got AIDS. That's
Look. Here's a 10-second timer on it. This is why it keeps coming in and out. So I got to go individually, go, step by step with it. But yeah, guess what? I got it, man. Um, with the issues of our community, should we worry about only our families, or do we ignore? That's completely ignore what I put up there because I was in a hurry. Basically, what I'm saying is, with the issues in our community, should we just worry about our family, or should we include the community also with that?
I think, man, everything. I mean, everything should be community based when it comes to the black community. And, if other people want to, keep their shit together long enough to ride, I'm not opposed to it, but they definitely can't get in the way.
Okay, Corey, what you think?
I don't really have an idea on that. I think as a human being on this planet, everybody's supposed to be protected, but that's not how life actually works. We animals first, so at the end of the day, survival of the fittest, build and destroy. The list goes on. The sayings that we actually live. So, um, yeah, I would be look out for everybody, man. Shit, I don't know.
So,
Um,
so what you're saying is you would include, along with your family, the community in as far as the help is concerned.
a big dog, man. To be honest, man, the way the world play in the bureaucracy of like living in a democracy, a lot of this question right here for me is super hard to answer because at the end of the day, it's trauma filled and emotion uh, tied to, right? So all I'm gonna do is spew shit that of discourse or that I don't like you know what I'm saying? That shit don't go nowhere. So at the end of the day, um, if you encounter me, you might see something different, or you know what I'm saying. But I can't answer that question. Like,
Okay, all right. Well, let's just play with this a little bit because
please,
really and truly, your honest opinion is your honest opinion.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And you did say it's trauma based, so you have been burned by doing that in your lifetime.
No, yeah, or burned by just bureaucracy of living. You know what I'm saying? So skin color, all that other bullshit. You know, being looked over in jobs, this, that. So you're gonna have a different opinion based off emotion.
Okay.
Uh, but at the end of the day, do I want to see anybody die? Nah. Do I want to see anybody hurt? Nah. But if those things were to come to fruition, then it is what it is. Too.
Okay. Um, Before we go to you, Damon, some of the examples is the lady in Minneapolis who got killed by the ICE agent. Let's see. The Venezuela being being invaded. because people protest that because that's kind of why the lady got shot, or no, the Somali in Minneapolis. ICE going after them. Um, how much do we care about? And this is a broad statement. When it's time for us to be cared about, they're silent. And I did that on purpose. So what do you think, Damon?
Well, hey, man, I took the question as us as black people in this country as a whole, man, as opposed to outside communities. But you were specifically.
No. Listen what I'm saying to you. What I'm really focusing on is your family, right?
Right.
And I gave that small example just for us outside, not. I think I gave it to care. You understand? Not to the actual
Right.
community, but to care.
Just to be honest with you, I pulled my Bible out. I'm talking about us as God's chosen people and all that stuff, and how throughout the Old Testament, all this, how God taught us through other people. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote down the scriptures and all that. But when you're talking about me personally as a family, how does it affect me? It doesn't affect me because it's all about trust. You know what I'm saying? It's all predicated on trust. Now, outside of my own personal, immediate family, there are only a handful of people that I trust. You know what I'm saying? Only a handful of people. And I would say, you know what? If I'm caught up on something that, that I'm not able to convey, if there's somebody outside, like my brothers, I can point my kids to them. Hey, ask your uncle what his opinion about, how they feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's about the extent of it for me, man.
Gotcha. I got you. But like I said, it's a vague question. And then really and truly, like I said, all these different topics is mostly just to get feedback from what you guys. Ja'Cory, did you get a chance to?
Hey, last point though. But I also press them to gain their own wisdom, and how they gain their own wisdom is by making mistakes and learning from it.
Gotcha.
This is a final point, man. I will say that and this applies to everybody, man. But when your chickens come home to roost, you got to feed them, and sometimes they demand flesh. And me and mine, we don't have any flesh to spare.
Okay. I respect all three of your opinions, man, because it's what it is. You understand, unless you have extra in you, you kind of process the world and how the world give what they give you. That's just my opinion about it. You know what I'm saying? Going the extra mile and doing the extra things and all that, that's an individualized thing. Like what kind of person you are, But just asking it in a blanket statement way, I did that on purpose just to see where you guys were with it. You know what I mean? All right. The last subject, and really and truly, it's not for shock value, but just for the simple fact that, you learn different things. I used to think that I knew a lot of stuff, but as I got older, it kind of changed a little bit, where the stuff that I do know, I know I had to go back and reinforce it if I wanted to keep it, maintain it, retain it, or whatever, right? But this came across my daily feed, and I thought it was kind of, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but of the 68 black-led nations of the world, how many do you think are considered third world?
What would you
First of all,
for this
I'm tripping
particular?
off the fact, I'm tripping off the fact that it's 68 nations led by people of color.
When you say third world, what are the parameters?
See, that's another thing. Because we've always been bombarded by, oh, that's a third world country, but they've always been people of color. You know what I'm saying? Would I say people of color other than white? But
Well, this is what I say, bro.
let me read the definition of it. The term third world originated during the Cold War for non-aligned nations, but now generally refers to economically less developed and or developing countries, often in Africa, Asia, Latin America, facing poverty, instability, and low industrialization. Though it's now considered outdated and potentially offensive, with developing nations or global south being preferred alternative. So economically less developed or developing countries, often in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, facing poverty, instability, or low industrialization, right? How many of those 68 countries, and this is all guess, are considered third world countries to you guys?
Well, this is what I said. Oh, go ahead, Smoke.
No, I was just gonna say 37.
You said 37?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that you just threw that out there just to throw it out there?
Yeah, I mean, because the no, yeah, that's a good number for me. 37. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay.
I would have said 55, but I followed up with I factor in the extractions of resources, unfair loans, debts, and the world superpowers that lead in these dynamics.
Okay.
I mean, because I mean, if you consider infrastructure, man, I consider infrastructure. All of those. I mean, how many of those 68 countries have an airport? If you have an airport,
All of them.
yeah, you have an airport, then you're pretty much a modern country because everything's coming into your country from the airport. It doesn't matter how isolated you may be. If you could be situated on the pyramid in Timbuktu, if you have an airport, then you have the potential to gain certain information. You have access to certain things.
But how many of these countries became third world countries, so-called third world countries, because of colonization and extraction and exploitation?
Probably all of them.
How the hell you live in those type of conditions, but you have all the resources?
Yeah. That been colonized and been colonized and big business has gone in and having free ranking and all of that.
Great Britain is a rock. You know what I'm saying? No oil, very few farmlands, but they're superpower.
Okay, are you ready for what Google says? While the term third world is outdated, we said that earlier, It generally refers to developing nations in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Out of Africa's 54 countries, most fit this description, with many listed as least developed countries by the UN. If you're considering 68 black countries, it's likely referring to African nations, and many of these, like Somalia, South Sudan, and Chad, are consistently ranked among the world's least developed.
But see, that's what kicks me in the ass, because if I'm not mistaken, Moldavia is the poorest country on the face of the earth, right?
Okay.
At some point it was, and where is that? That's in Eastern Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was
So, I mean,
80.
I mean, it very well could be. I mean, hell, they could switch back and forth. But I've heard,
But Haiti did not have to be, but the French made sure. French in America made sure they were that economically they were always going to be on their knees. Is what it is.
wait a second, is Moldavia? Is that the Marvel shit? Is that where Dr. Doom lives? Y'all just gonna let me say anything?
No, I think you're right. The Moldave, right? That's what you saying?
Yeah, I mean, is that? I'm hoping it is.
I'm laughing because you may be correct, wrong and correct at the same time. Look,
You see how niggas do you? You see how niggas do you?
Yeah.
You see what I
Hey,
got to
bro.
deal with niggas? Oh, nigga.
Either way, you break even.
I guess you do. Yeah, I guess you do.
Because now you research it and you don't damn sure find it out. Great question.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
the funny
Corey, I refuse to research, bro.
the funny thing.
I
about
do
it was,
everything I do from ignorance.
It sounded,
God damn it.
sounded
I
very
stand on it.
familiar, so I let it ride. Like, wait a minute, that does sound Moldavia. But then, as soon as you said, "Wait a minute, is that Marvel?" I was like, "Damn, he's right. It's Marvel."
But it's
Dr. Doom.
well, big brother, instead of coming to my rescue and Googling that shit, which you have access to, because you have Googled several things during this conversation,
Hold on.
you just left me out there.
I was in the middle of Google when
Niggas.
He was doing the old man shit.
hey, Damon. He's shaking his head like it's a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Like,
He's shaking his head like
He had me there.
Hey, Corey, it is the poorest because it's on the comic book.
and this shit
It's
is
in the
for
comic book.
This mother, he trying to come at me, y'all.
Hey, look, now you got me wanting to find out if it is.
Yeah, there it is. See?
Watch what happened.
Big dog, I ain't got no answer on that either.
No, sir. This is what I'm talking. You have no confidence in none of your shit, man, because it's
I
in
do.
He was right.
it's between the Ukraine and Romania.
Yeah.
How you just shoot yourself in the foot like that, bro?
I really didn't. I really didn't. I mean, that was like a setup. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Come on, man.
Oh shit!
That is the wonder of me.
Look, yeah, but I chose this just for GP because I never knew like how many countries, like 54 nations in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And then Latin America and Asia, you know, those are everybody considered minorities, obvious minorities. And it's 68 countries, as opposed to I don't know how many other countries that's supposed to be industrialized. I did not want to do that. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to put the spotlight on what bothers me is when they're not industrialized is because countries have gone in and raped and pillaged the land, period.
But that's, they try to stomp our pride out, like a cigarette butt, man, because, and I've heard it said on this platform, out of all of the 68 black-led nations, none of those nations have ever colonized another country. None of those nations have ever taken a population from another place and used that population to advance their shit,
I
their
like
shit,
that. I like that.
you know, through captivity. You know what I mean? So
Well,
it's something to be proud of that there's 68, black-led nations, and on the face of the planet.
we got a real live living example of this happened last month. We're gonna go down there in Venezuela and we're gonna take the oil.
It's all about control. You know why they did it? Because they want to increase that dollar value. You know what I mean? Because the only currency that purchasing oil uses is American currency. So if you control one of the top 3 oil reserves, now you're gonna drive the American dollar up again. You see what I'm saying? That's part of it. So, all right, we went through our topics, and I got something real quick when Corey comes back. I want you guys an honest opinion about it. And this was a last minute thing, but I thought it was deep to me. It had to do with Rosa Parks, right? Rosa Parks was not the first female bus rider protester arrested. It was a 15-year-old young lady, right? Her name was Claudette Colvin. She just passed away. That's kind of why it is on my radar. She was the first one. She was 15 years old. She was the first one arrested in the actual protest of the busing, right? Claudette. The negative thing about it is she didn't get the publicity because some people was like, well, because she was a dark-skinned young woman, they said, well, colorism is the reason why, they didn't promote her, right? And then another reason was she was pregnant at the time. 15-year-old young lady was pregnant. So they didn't want that to be the face of the protest, right? But, whatever you want to believe is one thing, right? But she got involved in it because when she was 14, a good friend of hers was accused of sexual assault of another white student. And they lynched him and they did everything to him. And that spurred her to join the Freedom Riders, the protesters. And she was one of the first people. And you know what she said? I've heard of her before, right? But she's not put in the same vein as Rosa Parks. And I've always wondered why. You know what I mean?
You said she was 15 years old.
She was 15 years old.
Petulance, man. Even probably even the black community seen her as a petulant child who was just defiant. And here comes Rosa Parks, a hard-working grown.
It was a plan. She did this. She was a part of the movement. She actually did this.
Okay.
So this wasn't like, some coincidental thing. No, she was part of the movement.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But once she got arrested, quote unquote, I wasn't there, but it said she was 15.
Yeah, man, you was probably about 2 years off.
She was 15 years old, right? And they didn't want her to be 15 years old and she was pregnant. And they did not want her to be, the face of it.
What was that, about 1950, 54?
I don't know when that was, man.
Yeah, you was probably about 2 years. You came about 2 years later.
Yeah, well, it could be.
That had made me been born in 1956 then.
I'm trying to figure out where that coming from, man. I missed
I'm
it.
saying you're old, bro.
Oh, damn.
I said she did her stance in 1954. You was born in 1955.
Got you, dog. There you go.
It didn't catch. It didn't take hold.
I know. I know. Boom. But
I mean, that's wild, man. Because I think the black community, man, we are guilty of trying to choose the face of something.
I know. I've never been a fan of that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
Jafar, say it again. You said we do what? We choose the space.
no, we're guilty of trying to pick the face of whatever
Yeah.
whatever particular cause we happen to be fighting at the moment. We shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Those things. I mean, those things don't change, because change is something that naturally occurs.
I see. That's what.
As much work as we put into it, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be an ease to it. And
Yeah.
and when we try to pick our visual representations based upon certain societal shit, we shoot ourselves in the foot. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I've said that there was a reason why Rosa Parks, being a lighter skinned black woman, was the face of that particular piece of the movement. I think
There's that bureaucracy again. You know what I'm saying? It's in everything. It's in every race. It's in everything. You got that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's the thing about the civil rights movement, where what they did was it was nonviolent. So they took the sway of the people who were sitting on their hands when they saw human beings being brutalized. That's where the sympathy came into, and that's where the momentum came from. You know what I'm saying? So basically, they made a choice. We're going to be beaten. We're going to be. This is going to be done to us. So the rest of the country can be ashamed and sympathize to what's going on down here. This is why it was key. This is why it was key with the college students. College students. You know what I'm saying? Not just the homegrown folks in Mississippi and Alabama and throughout the South, but also is college students coming down and participating, white and black. You know what I mean? Now you're putting the pulse on the rest of the country, period. You know? But like I said, it's I just wanted just to get your opinion about it. Anything else before we move on?
I think, man, that we was conditioned to feel that way, but that we had to be. I mean, we in all aspects of our lives, man, we were scrutinized to the 100%, man. But in reality and truth, if we competed about pissing across the damn street, that'd become an Olympic game, man. So,
yeah,
it's all about manipulation and not being able to meet the standard, but we are the standard.
Yeah.
Hey, man, keep it really quickly before we move on, man. I don't want to do it at the end of the show. I want to do it now and at the end of the show, but I want to give a shout out to my wife, man. Tomorrow is going to be our bunch of year anniversary of marriage. And yeah.
Congratulations, bro.
Congratulations, man. My man.
And tell sister-in-law she can put that butcher knife down now. So. But congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. Big congrats.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's just do this. Last words, and then I'm gonna let you gentlemen get to your lives. Because let me tell you something. I appreciate you guys. You did it. You did your thing tonight, man. All three of you, y'all did work tonight. I appreciate you, man. Please go to our YouTube channel and Strong Perspective Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Build our numbers up. We here. We 3 years strong. This is season 3, episode 3. So understand, I'm gonna start putting a number on this thing, just for our own situation. And I had to get Corey in here before the month of January was out because he's a friend of the show. We got to get people on here that we enjoy and who always come back whenever we ask. Man, we appreciate you, brother. We definitely
Appreciate you having me always. You know
Sure.
that, big dog.
Definitely appreciate you, brother.
So go ahead and like, share, and subscribe for us. We appreciate the people in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Bill Blast, Big Bill Scarborough, our family, Tiffany, Robin. You know what I'm saying? Reese, Lil Reese. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for checking in on us. Any last words? Damon, any last words?
Hey, man, stay blessed. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
God is with you if you seek Him out.
I like the fact that music came in when you said that. That's my man.
Yeah, man, I set that up, brother.
Corey, any last words, man? Anything you want to pump? Anything you want to say?
Follow at Photolayer, but also follow at Buck Paints. My man just built a gallery studio. His art is amazing. That's where I'll have my March show, Protect Your Mind, at in March. Dates to be announced. I got a show in February. Again, can't talk about that too much yet until the end of January, but that's in Brooklyn, off Nostrand Ave. Gallery name, all that shit will be there. Breakfast with, short stories. Look out for all of that. Under Photolayer, soon coming. Breakfast with its own Instagram, TikTok, all of that. But it'll be Breakfast with to be all artists that I know, friends of mine, that where we just having conversations about life and about art, food. Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm saying to you. I'm telling you, he's a talented brother, and look, very insightful, very funny, and real. So,
Yeah.
check
Oh,
him
if
out.
you're in DC, it's in Silver Spring, Maryland. So
Okay.
look up. He's putting together the name now, but I always tell him it's called Chop the Tree because that's what he always said. Whenever you getting heavier in life, chop the tree, nigga. Stay motherfucking focused. Don't let that discipline go away. You know what I'm saying? So he had a vision. He created this shit, and this is where we at now. So you're gonna see it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, give me the dates on that, man, because I can get to that because I'm legit.
I got you.
All right, Jaquari, last words, brother.
Once again, wife, happy bunch of years anniversary, and I'm definitely looking forward to a bunch more. Gentlemen, I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. Looking forward to the next. Y'all be safe.
It's a Strong Perspective Podcast. Much love. Everything is everything, people. Corey is a friend of the show, so you know he's gonna be back. Damon, Jaquari, great as always. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep pumping. Let's do our thing. All right, this is a Strong Perspective Podcast. Good night.